Hello, my name is Justin Bright, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program version 1.2.2. In the previous episode, we upgraded our Research and Development Center so we have access to all of the final science nodes. Looks like things in this tier are going to cost me 550 science apiece, so I'm going to be able to get 3. So let's figure out what are the 3 that we need right now. So I've been complaining bitterly about not having engines that were potent enough to do what I need them to do, so that is very heavy rocketry is a very strong contender, and for the same reason high performance fuel systems to get nice big fuel tanks. So we're starting to see 3.75 5-meter tanks, 7.5-meter nose cones, 7.5-meter tanks, just all kinds of crazy things that is going to allow us to send bigger and bigger ships with fewer and fewer parts. Here's an electromagnet, perfect for grabbing heavy objects without a connector or docking port. So I guess this is the KAS version of the things in the construction mod, so that's not all that enticing to me right now. Metamaterials has some Saturn V type bits, adapters, so I can start putting a million vectors on things, which is going to be fun. There's the biadapter. Single 2.5 meter. Why is this near the end of the tech tree? Gosh, that's goofy. The placement of some things in the tech tree just baffles me. Arrow spike, that'll be very good when and if we go to Eve, but for now I'm not all that... I don't feel like that's quite necessary. Some aerodynamic bits, but no... I think I've already got all of my fairings all the way from 0.625 meters all the way to 10 meters, so I don't think I need anything there. We got some big wheels. Don't think that's... well, it might be necessary, but I don't think I'm going to be building any big rovers quite yet. Oh, here's a no-brainer. Let's get this. This is going to give us nuclear reactors. It's going to give us bigger drills, which is going to be important. That's actually something that I've been very badly missing in my current... my current drills are not pulling up very much material, and I guess there's a pretty big multiplier for these big, heavy strip miners and even the MEU 500 pulse drills. So if I want to set up a real mining operation and get some real manufacturing done, I'm going to need the big guns. We've got nuke reactors, we've got the Gravmax Gravioli detector, we've got stock drills and stock converters, which is nice. Oh, and some station science stuff as well. So this is definitely one of the things that I want. So let's buy that. Ion propulsion. Now, this could be fun. I don't think I'm quite ready to do this yet, but this would allow me to do some easy exploration of the rest of the system. Nuclear propulsion is going to give you a lot of efficiency with your fuel and able to send out some stuff, but that is small and efficient, and you're able to send probes out to the far reaches of the Kerbal system. So the ion propulsion is not really necessary, but it can allow you to do some cool stuff. Just like in real life with the Dawn probe that this particular propulsion system is named after, was able to visit 2 bodies, and that's the first time that's ever been done. It was able to visit both Sears and... gosh, what's the other one? Pardon me while I Google this, because this is killing me that I don't remember it. Vesta, protoplanet Vesta, and now it's around Sears. So it's the first thing that's ever visited 2 planets as part of its mission and like stopped and orbited around both, and that's just because it has just so much ability to do so much delta V based on their little electric engine. So having that technology would allow me to do similar things, but I don't see that that's particularly necessary at this point. We could also get better remote guidance units, which I'm all about. I love unmanned vessels. Bigger, better relay antennas. And bigger, better fuel cells and electrics and so forth. So I think I just want big heavy rockets. I think that's where we're going to put our resources for now. Good Lord. Why is that so expensive? Oh, I see. The Starlifter nuclear reactor costs 1.3 million to unlock on its own. Quad-Emu engine is 600,000. Goodness gracious. Wowzers. Okay, well, that's something to look forward to. There's some things that we can get right away, like I want this Rhino right now. I want the Vector for sure. Ooh, nice 3.75 meter service bay. We're going to grab the Penguin vacuum engine. 3.75 meter stack separator that isn't like 8 meters tall. Let's grab a 2.5 meter nuke engine. It's pretty exciting. The Starlifter stuff is something that I might use for like an end game vessel that kind of mimics the interstellar transport that Elon Musk has envisioned, but that's not something we need to start working on quite yet. Oh, here's a hilarious thrust upgrade for all of the LVN engines. Makes the Swivel and the Reliant and the Valiant and the Terrier all have better thrust, which is great. Love it. What else? The Mammoth is gorgeous. What is this? The Ratite. Get that. We'll get the Mammoth. I do love SRBs. Big, heavy, stupid SRBs are just delightful. 5 meter toroidal SAS. I don't think I quite need something that monstrous quite yet. Okay, so that's that one. Now I'm thinking it's either metamaterials or high performance fuel systems, and I think I just do this one first. So let's do that. And are we broken? Cool. There we go. Beautiful. Nice big tanks. Gosh, those are so expensive. I feel like mod authors just don't, they frequently don't seem to have a, they just put arbitrary numbers in for the unlock costs on many things, it feels like. That's, no, I can't afford all that. So we are actually going to have to start doing some contracts again. Well, let's get the 375 meter parts, because those are reasonably priced. Carbonine tanks, that's 7.5 meter. 10 meter tanks, I don't need that. Carbodine S3, so these must be the... yes, these must be the replacements for these regular Carbonine ones. So let's get those. Because I think just having 3.75 meter rockets at this point is going to be plenty. And we have some room to grow into the 5 meter and 7.5 meter stuff, which Space Y and Fuel Tanks Plus is affording us. Alright, so from here I actually have updated my install since I had recorded this previous part, and now we're rolling right into this next part where I can explain some new stuff I've got. Alright, so it's been a little while, but I am now coming back and we are seeing that I have some new technologies that have appeared. I have installed some new bits to my save, extraplanetary launch pads, and which is going to give us this lovely mallet and survey stake. Everything else is taken care of by the MKS suite of mods. I've installed this drop tank mod, which is actually really cool looking. Basically, you can have a seamless wrapper tank that has a built-in decoupler. I'm super excited to be using. And we have the OSE, the Obi Van Dam Space Engineering workshop, which allows us to create small items in situ. So as you can see, I've kind of decided that we are going to move on with full-on manufacturing in my save, even though I think I may have said the opposite not that long ago. But let's not worry about that. We are going to move forward with this full set of shenanigans, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So let's just pick up the last couple of technology nodes that I have just unlocked, like the material extractor and so forth. And I think I've also figured out what we are going to be doing next. We have a lot of interesting things to build as far as additional base mechanics, but I think the first thing is fuel extraction. And so what we're going to be working with here in this episode is I have two kind of main objectives, and the first one is to get this big carbonite plant out to Minty Station. And we have here, we have just kind of a tower with solar power, high gain antennas, our probe is in there. We have a carbonite converter and a big carbonite tank. And we have this big, humongous fuel tank that is mostly empty. It just has a little bit of fuel for our outrigger swivel engines that we're going to use for landing. This thing comes across on a skipper and is powered by a mainsail with some kickbacks. So I think we should be able to get out to Minmus with this just fine unmanned. So let's get to it. Make sure I don't have anybody on board. Jebediah always trying to sneak on board. All right, here we have this big hefty beast up on the launch pad, and 3, 2, 1, launch! So I mentioned that I have two objectives for this ship, and one of them is to get this big carbonite refining and processing plant out to Minmus and connect to Minty Station. So that's the first big thing. The second one is I've included some refueling pipes in here, and I would like to use this initially to refuel the Minmus hopper. It has, I think, about half a tank of fuel on it right now, which is good for hopping around Minmus, but what I would like to do is I would like to get the 3-person crew that's out there to actually head up into high orbit around Minmus, grab that science, and then actually head out into interplanetary space for just a minute. So we're going to send them out, get them orbiting the sun science, get them the experience of being out and orbiting the sun, and I think that should get them up to 3 stars. So that would be amazing, first of all. Then I would have my first 3-star Kerbals. And one of the cool things that is included in Rover Dude's mods is this Academy module. Decoupling boosters. Yeah, nice and easy. There is a training academy building that I can also land on Minmus next as as the following thing. We'll probably have to deal with that in a later episode, but still. What that would let me do is train other Kerbals that are in the base up to the level of those astronauts. And I don't know how the new Kerbals, like the miner and so forth, that only have 1 skill, I don't know how they work with that whole system. But in theory, having the big 3, pilot, engineer, and scientist, at level 3, I should be able to train up all of my other Kerbals up to level 3. So that would let us, that would give us a really good foundation for experience on the base, and I'd be able to start sending up a whole bunch of Kerbals with a whole variety of skills so that we can really start doing stuff and manufacturing and everything else. So I think that is what we're going to plan to do. But first we have to get this big guy in orbit. Alright, looks like we're just about out of fuel with our second stage. We're going to have to dip into the fuel on our outriggers. So, go! Shoot. Decouple. Whoops. Yeah, so that should be good. This thing, I think, should be plenty capable of getting us out to... Oh dear. Well, should. It's a pretty operative term. There we go. Yeah, I was a little concerned. We were actually getting right up to the apoapsis. We were getting ready to start heading back down because I have taken a very shallow launch profile here. I've tried to have this thing fueled such that we will just about run out of fuel by the time we're touching down, or we should have just a little bit extra, because I did not want to send this whole thing full, because that would practically double the weight, something like that, like pretty dramatically heavier to send this tank full than it is to send it empty as a just giant fuel canister for use in our refueling operations with our lovely carbonite drills that we have on the side here. And these monster legs you see, I'm really excited about. This is from the Lithobrake mod, Lithobrake Exploration Technologies or something like that. It's basically the counterpart to Space Y for landing bits, and it has these monster legs, which I just love because they're huge and they're long and they're just, yeah, just works out great. All right, we are outside of the atmosphere, so let's go ahead and kick off this fairing. It pops off real nice. Extend our solar panels. Cool, cool. And antennas. Beautiful. Yeah, so this thing, I intend to have it hook up to Minty Station, but technically it could be completely independent. It could be its own vessel if I wanted it to be. Let's just zip over to our apoapsis and get ourselves circularized. Heave! Heave! Cool. We are in orbit. Let's get ourselves out to Minmus. Alright, so we got that set up, so let's move along to the node. Ah! Go! I always get myself into trouble by being impatient. This will be a little bit charred on the outside of that flexo tube by the time we get there, but that's probably fine. I'll just scrape off the remnants of that, and hopefully none of the fuel that we're using is toxic. I'm not using real fuels or anything, so we can't determine what it is, but if we figure that it's RP1, that's it's probably not great that it's got being blasted on the side there, but could be worse. Could be hydrazine. Alright, so let's plan our correction burn. Looks like it's flipped us around since, because of the bad way that I did the initial burn out to this orbit. So let's just correct things a little bit. That looks good. And in about 50 minutes, we will take care of that. And this has, warping our way through this also has the side benefit of helping us prove out our life support system to make sure that that's working correctly and our Kerbals are happy and healthy with the system that we have set up. Whoops. Almost. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Luckily, this particular window is a little bit more forgiving than the other one, probably. So it shouldn't matter too much that I missed the start point of that burn. Well, never mind. This was terrible. Don't execute your burns like that. But it turns out to be fine. Okay, we are close enough. So we've got our ship pointed nice and long ways to the sun so that we have no sunlight whatsoever. There we go. Full sunlight. Or what? Are you rotating? What's happening right now? Okay, we're good. Let's just warp in and get into orbit. No need to make this any more complicated than it has to be. We will just take this one step at a time. Looks like we've got plenty of fuel left. And by plenty, I mean we should be cutting it close, but safely so, I guess. I'm not worried is what I guess I should say. But we did not, in fact, have fuel to do any weird brute forcing of our entry there, like just pointing ourselves straight at the planet, or the body, the moon, whatever you want to call it. I have such trouble figuring out what I want to call Minmus. The body, the planet. It's a moon. It's a little moon. But a moon nonetheless. So let's get ourselves up into a nice orbit directly over our landing site. You guys are probably familiar with the drill here by now. That looks good. There. Let's do that. Let's slow ourselves down a little bit as we come in for entry. As we come in for landing over this airless body. Perfect. Here we come. Coming in crooked. All right, let's point ourselves at our site here because we're off a bit, more than a bit. We're off a lot. Here, let's actually activate the navigation towards the station, the base. The base, Minty Station. Yes. That is where we are wildly swinging ourselves towards. I feel like I'm getting some phantom weirdness here. I'm not all that excited about it. What? Am I, like... Do I have torque happening? Or is this just not good control because I only have these two little reaction wheels? Let's point ourselves this way, try to cancel our velocity relative. Basically just trying to get that prograde surface vector closer to the actual site. Oh dear. This is... Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like the way this is coming down. I probably should have saved. This should still be fine. Now, let's get these big landing legs deployed. Yeah, I don't like the way this is coming down. I don't like where it's coming down. I don't like how it's coming down. I don't like anything about it. No, sir, I don't like it. And I barely have... Ooh, I think we're entering physics range. Stop burning fuel. Yeah, I'm... Okay. All right. Yeah, we may need to just come straight down at this point. Just because I am out of fuel and there's no way I'm going to be able to make any kind of precision landing. So let's just descend. Hope that gravity doesn't put my velocity up over 32 meters per second, or at least not too much over it. Oh man. Burn! Oh shoot. Alright. Whoa! Okay. What did I do? Oh my gosh. No, 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 no. Stop, 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 stop. Oh god, why? Why? I should not have hit the engines again. I was fine. Oh, coming down again. Bouncing again. No, push it. Push, 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 push. Come on, straighten out, straighten out. We are rotating and bouncing slowly across, ponderously across the surface with 30 tons of hardware. Did I land? Am I okay? Where am I? Am I in the air? Am I just hovering? What is happening right now? I think... Oh my god. No, 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 no! Oh! No! Come on! No! It's a slow motion tragedy! Here, rotate something, anything. Retract. Retract. No! Oh, man. Ugh. Oh, man. Well... Shoot. What can I even do at this point? Because this thing is too heavy to do anything with. Oh, I cannot believe I did that. Oh, that was so stupid. Well, looks like we are rotating around on the surface. And these legs are not situated in any sort of way that's going to help me kick this up. And I've knocked off one of my solar panels. Oh man, what a pain. Alright, let's see what I can do here. I bet you my crane could pick this thing up. Here, let's back to type selection. Bases, carbonite plant. Ugh, 2 kilometers away. Okay, so here we are at the... Oh, come on, could you not? Don't do that. There we go. Looking good. Brakes, brakes, please brakes. Please stop. Cool. F5. We are living with our mistakes here. Alright, so what happens if I enable this magnet? Oh boy. Looks like I can levitate this thing off the ground a little bit, which is cool. So, I'm not sure if it's going to even be possible to pick this thing up high enough that I'm able to set it on its feet. But let's pin this, put this down here, and let's raise this as high vertically as I can. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do anything with this. I've got it pulling upwards. Just not sure what that actually does for me. Yeah, I just don't think I'm going to be able to get this up and off the ground in a meaningful way. Can try to send somebody over or something maybe, but I just don't think there's anything I can do here. I think what I'm going to have to do next is send over that forklift that I've been talking about wanting to bring, just so that I can try to maybe use Jeslyn to kind of take it apart and rebuild it in a standing position. I don't know, something. We'll have to figure something out, but unfortunately we are all out of time for this episode, so I will have to see you guys in the next one.